A concerned grandmother in Bandera is doing what she can to warn others after she says her grandchild was nearly abducted from a daycare.
KENS 5 Eyewitness News reporter Alyssa Tellez spoke to her today and explains what happened.
A calm afternoon in the small town of Bandera. But for this grandmother, her mind is still reeling from the chaos that unfolded several days ago.
You wonder why? What are they doing? What's the point of them being there? What are their intentions?
On Wednesday, the Bandera County Sheriff's Office says someone tried to pick up Lori Blanchard's granddaughter, somehow knowing her name.
It's a very close-knit family, so there's no reason for anybody to be there.
Days later, Blanchard heard about a similar attempt in New Braunfels. New Braunfels police saying two people tried to pick up two kids from a city-run camp without permission. Blanchard decided to warn daycares in the area and tell others what happened.
It's for the protection of the children.
In a statement, a spokesperson for the New Braunfels Police Department said in part, quote, "While we understand the cause for concern in the community, residents are urged to be patient while investigators gather the facts of the case," and goes on to say they remind residents to always remain vigilant about their surroundings, end quote. The Bandera County Sheriff's Office also releasing their own statement about the incident, saying in part, quote, "Parents should ensure that the daycare facility they use has a current list of persons permitted to pick up their children." Still, Blanchard worries about the similarities in both incidents.
They're connected. Human trafficking.
New Braunfels police didn't provide a description of the suspects there. Bandera County says their suspect is about 6 feet tall and 225 pounds. He is described as a white or Hispanic male with dark hair and drives either a silver car with a spoiler or a white SUV with a dent on the passenger side. Blanchard says she wants to see justice and plans to continue telling others about her experience. Alyssa Tellez, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.